Tomorrow, 115 cardinals begin the sanctified and secret process of electing the next pope.
The Pope has formed a close connection with Cardinal Luis Tagle, which has generated both attention and debate. This association could potentially influence the future direction of the Catholic Church.
I welcome you to our country, to the city of Manila, and to the Cathedral Basilica of the Immaculate Conception.
The Pope has decided to reveal details about Cardinal Luis Tagle. This choice by Pope Francis raises questions about the timing and potential impact on the Church's global influence. The relationship between the Pope and Cardinal Tagle is complex, built on shared beliefs, mutual respect, and a vision for modernizing the Catholic Church. Cardinal Tagle is known for embodying similar values as the Pope, such as being humble, welcoming, and attentive to the needs of the people. Pope Francis, inspired by the example of Cardinal Tagle, envisions a church that serves the poor and underprivileged. Tagle's work in Manila before becoming a cardinal has deeply influenced the Pope's message of reaching out to the common people. The Pope strongly believes in the power of the clergy not just to give inspiring speeches, but to turn this shared vision into a reality, even in challenging times. The partnership between the Pope and Tagle has strengthened since Tagle was appointed as the prefect of the Congregation for the Evangelization of Peoples in 2019.
Pope Francis seems to have embraced an unknown figure who could reshape the future of the Catholic Church. His close association with Cardinal Luis Tagle has often sparked interest and, at times, controversy.
This position, known as the Red Pope, comes with significant power, including authority over missionary work across different continents. By appointing Tagle to this important role, Pope Francis has hinted at entrusting him with the further development of Catholic evangelization, particularly in Asia, Africa, and Latin America, as these regions will shape the future of the Catholic Church. Their relationship extends beyond just work, as both leaders have emphasized the values of compassion over doctrine, conversation over polarization, and action over mere talk. Their shared experience in dealing with hostile reactions from traditionalist factions has made them resolute in their vision of a church focused on love. Tagle's leadership style is characterized by humility and compassion, similar to the ideas of Pope Francis. During the typhoon in 2013, Tagle's quick response and empathy towards the victims earned him the reputation of being a leader of the Church of Mercy. As Francis had advocated, Tagle's expertise in theology, particularly his inclusive approach to evangelization, has made him a role model for liberal Catholics worldwide. Pope Francis has emphasized that the Church's leadership cannot remain hierarchical, but must be a sign of outreach to the forgotten and marginalized. While the Pope has not directly stated his long-term vision for Tagle, their work together appears to be well coordinated. The Church appears to be undergoing a potential transition, moving from a focus on Manila to a more global perspective. Cardinal Luis's actions suggest a shift in the Vatican's structure and priorities, as evidenced by Pope Francis's recent comments on the role of the Cardinal. While the long-term vision for the Cardinal's position is unclear, the ongoing work of both the Cardinal and the Pope suggests a pre-planned strategy for change within the Church.
Overseas Filipino workers have praised the appointment of Manila Archbishop Luis Antonio Tagle as Cardinal. A priest adds Tagle's new role will be a challenge.
When Tagle became the leader of one of the world's largest Catholic organizations, he quickly took on the role of a reformist. Unlike past leaders who were often materialistic and greedy, Tagle focused on caring for the Church and its people, missionary work, and a passion for justice. His sermons were deeply moving and relatable to millions, earning him the nickname Asia's Francis. Tagle's rise to international fame came through various promotions that demonstrated his growing influence within the Vatican. While leading the Catholic charity organization Caritas Internationalis, which operates in 165 countries, Tagle supported campaigns against poverty, hunger, and climate change. His perceived ability to facilitate communication between different cultures and ideologies within the Church led to his selection as a leader in evangelization. The appointment of Tagle as the prefect of the Congregation for the Evangelization of Peoples in 2019 was a significant turning point. This position placed him at the heart of the Church's mandate to spread the gospel worldwide. worldwide. Tagle deeply valued cultural differences and actively participated in the reorganization of the church's evangelization strategies in non-Western countries, including Asia and Africa. Tagle's diplomatic skills and sound theological knowledge have positioned him as a leader who can navigate the complexities facing the church. As Tagle's influence at the Vatican grows, there is speculation about his potential for greater involvement or even becoming the next pope. If that were to happen, it would likely result in a church that is more focused on serving the marginalized. Under Pope Francis's leadership, the Catholic Church has shifted its focus towards those on the margins, often referred to as a church for the poor. This vision has been supported by Cardinal Luis Tagle, who, alongside Pope Francis, are called to advocate for justice, kindness, and compassion in society. Despite their ability to significantly influence the social relations within the church, their actions can be seen in Pope Francis's emphasis on the margins, where he believes the church occupies the periphery as a sanctuary for the outcasts. As the president of Caritas Internationalis, he has overseen anti-hunger campaigns, provided shelter to refugees, and confronted the challenges of climate change. This, coupled with his capacity to negotiate for resources and encourage individuals to take action, has established him as a key figure in the church's charitable work. Listening is one of the most important practices that President Tagle often highlights during his work.
You listen, you dispose yourself to love, and those who love will not get tired of listening.
The model focuses on dialogue and actively listens to voices on the margins, rather than traditional vertical power structures. However, this emphasis on the peripheries has raised concerns that the church's message may prioritize social causes over its own doctrines. Nonetheless, Pope Francis and Cardinal Tagle have maintained their stance despite criticism that they are compromising traditional Catholic values by emphasizing political correctness. The church must address current issues to remain relevant beyond just humanitarian work. Cardinal Tagle's efforts to improve interfaith relations demonstrate the church's commitment to fostering unity in a divided world. Discussing religious concerns with people of other faiths can promote tolerance and unity, reflecting the main message of Pope Francis. The church is working to bring itself into closer connection with people, and a new understanding of the church's mission is emerging. The Roman Catholic Church has long been the site of a hidden power struggle, even as it presents an image of unity and piety. This tension is particularly evident in the context of the Vatican, where tradition and modern culture collide. These ideological battles are played out daily between reformists like Pope Francis and Cardinal Tagle, and the more conservative elements within the church. Pope Francis has continued to push for reform, denouncing clericalism, advocating for a more decentralized church, and speaking out on sensitive issues like migration, climate change, and economic transparency.
Moving on, issuing a stark warning, the head of the Catholic Church and sovereign of the Vatican City State has said that the earth will become uninhabitable if there is no concrete action taken on climate change.
Despite these efforts, there have been significant challenges. Some ultra-conservative parties and groups within the Catholic Church have been loudly criticizing this shift as a radical departure from the Bible. Cardinal Tell's active role in the Vatican reflects this power struggle, as he aligns with Pope Francis's vision of a merciful church focused on the marginalized. However, Tell's ascent has not been universally approved, as his management style and emphasis on dialogue and participation contradict more traditional views on Catholic theology. This has led to raised expectations and concerns about the obstacles the church's leader might face. Financial oversight has been one of the most crucial areas. The Pope has initiated a power struggle to clean up the Vatican's financial institutions, which has sparked a lot of controversy. Tagle, who supports the reform initiatives and has been pushing for more transparency, is involved in the management of the church's charitable activities. However, this has also put him against some people with vested interests to protect, which adds a layer of complexity to the power dynamics. Although the Pope has not hinted at his successor, Tagle's increased visibility among other figures suggests that the church's future direction is being considered. The conservatives might want to retain or promote candidates who they believe would not continue the reform framework set by the current Pope, as the behind-the-scenes power struggle represents the confrontation that will define the future leadership of the church. The power struggles within the Catholic Church are not limited to the Vatican, but extend to various countries, impacting how their leaders handle handle global matters. While traditionalist elements remain active, the reform has become a hallmark, highlighting the increasing division between unity and traditional Catholicism. These dynamics are likely to shape the Church's efforts to address the challenges of the 21st century. Leaders like Cardinal Tagle have a role to play in these transitions. Tagle, a visionary amid the turmoil, has made a unique impact on Catholicism, advocating for the poor, defending human rights, respecting immigrants, and championing the oppressed in his country. He is seen as a beacon of hope for progressive Catholics worldwide, but his actions are challenging the institution's deeply rooted internal and external struggles. Engaging with people is one of Tagle's greatest strengths. He is friendly with individuals from all backgrounds, whether preaching to a group of followers in Manila or serving as a papal representative. Tagle is known for his humility and ability to easily connect with his followers. Many people have been missing the pastoral leadership style that he often emphasized, rather than the rigid institutional approach that dominates the Church. By promoting an open and inspiring religion, Tagle has positioned himself as a revolutionary figure in the new Catholic Church. However, this legacy is being built amidst considerable instability. While the number of priests and other church representatives is decreasing in Europe and North America, the faithful population in Asia and Africa is steadily growing. This demographic shift presents both strengths and challenges, as it empowers but also complicates the task of serving a vast and diverse congregation. Tagle's cultural sensitivity and status as a non-Westerner make him well-suited to undertake this role. Another key aspect of Tagle's approach is the combination of tradition and innovation.
It is good that in the conference in Paris on climate change, the principles of fairness and equity would surface and would play a great role.
Cardinal Luis Tagle's distinctive leadership has faced a complex interplay of both strong support and robust criticism from different factions and ideological spectrums within the global Catholic Church. While he has displayed a commendable openness to embracing the realities and demands of modernity, some more conservative and traditionalist elements within the Church have accused him of straying too far from established doctrinal matters and orthodox theological positions. This underlying conflict and tension reflects the profound challenges that characterize the current period of Catholic authority and ecclesiastical governance. Tagle's deft ability to thoughtfully navigate and balance these competing and often contradictory demands from various stakeholders within the Church will be a key factor in shaping his enduring legacy and impact. The issue of effective leadership is absolutely crucial, as the positive, progressive changes and reforms initiated by the transformative pontificate of Pope Francis must be diligently continued and built upon by future ecclesiastical leaders who possess the vision, strategic acumen, and moral authority to serve the organization effectively and steer it through the tumultuous waters of the 21st century. Tagle's significant influence, as well as his unwavering personal loyalty and commitment to faithfully executing Francis's transformative pastoral and theological vision, make him a potentially influential shaper and architect of the Catholic Church's evolving future trajectory. However, his ambitious and visionary agenda may very well face stubborn resistance and pushback from the diverse, often deeply polarized and ideologically divided global Catholic community. Tagle's unique spiritual footprints are still very much in the process of being firmly formed, as he leads a vast, centuries-old institution that is deeply rooted in established conventions, traditions, and institutional requirements that pose profound, multifaceted challenges. The next pope who emerges to lead the Church in the coming years will be someone who can skillfully navigate the rapidly changing landscape of the modern world while simultaneously maintaining a steadfast commitment to preserving core Catholic doctrine and spiritual identity. Their ability to inspire hope, foster unity, and galvanize the diverse global flock will be the defining feature of their influential leadership. This individual's visionary stewardship could potentially guide the venerable Catholic Church towards a future of profound healing, radical inclusiveness, and transformative revitalization. Cardinal Parolin, the Vatican's current Secretary of State, is widely considered to be one of the leading contenders and front runners to eventually succeed Pope Francis as the next Supreme Pontiff. Cardinal Parolin is a highly respected and influential figure within the Vatican hierarchy. As the current Secretary of State, he oversees the Vatican's diplomacy and organizational affairs, playing a crucial role in navigating the complex geopolitical landscape that the Catholic Church operates within. With decades of experience in the diplomatic service of the Holy See, Parolin has developed an extensive network of relationships and a nuanced understanding of global affairs. This has made him a formidable and respected voice within the Church, and a top contender to succeed the current Pope. In contrast to the more pastoral and reformist approach of his potential rival, Cardinal Tagle, Parolin has gained prominence through his adept handling of the Vatican's diplomatic responsibilities. He is known for his conservative views and his steadfast commitment to upholding the traditional teachings and hierarchical structure of the Catholic Church. Parolin's Italian heritage and his deep roots within the core of the Catholic establishment are seen as significant advantages. As the son of a prominent Italian Catholic family, he has navigated the challenges posed by modern societal changes with a steady hand, earning the respect and trust of traditionalist factions within the Church. Through his role as Secretary of State, Parolin has demonstrated his ability to shape the Church's complex geopolitical relations and maintain its global influence. He has been instrumental in strengthening the Vatican's ties with influential nations and power brokers, ensuring that the Catholic Church remains a major player on the world stage. While Tagle is perceived as being closer to the peripheries of the Church and more open to progressive reforms, Parolin's mastery of diplomacy and his unwavering commitment to doctrinal orthodoxy are seen by many as crucial assets in the ongoing quest to maintain the Catholic Church's relevance and power in the 21st century. The person in question is skilled at navigating the complex church hierarchy. They have been coordinating and mediating various factions within the church since they assumed power. As a bridge builder, they have tried to address the concerns of both sides, taking a middle ground approach in controversial matters. This ability to maneuver the internal politics has made them popular among those who prefer gradual changes over drastic ones. However, critics argue that their ideas lack the creativity needed to meet the challenges facing the modern church in an era of global transformations. The contrast between this individual and another reflects the contradictions within the contemporary church, where the former emphasizes forward-looking leadership, inclusion, compassionate action, and people-centered orientation, while the latter represents the traditional and diplomatic sensibilities typical of the Vatican administration. The differences between the two potential papal candidates, Cardinal Luis Tagle and Cardinal Marcello Parrin, have sparked fundamental questions about the future direction of the Catholic Church and the type of leader it currently needs. On one hand, the candidacy of the Filipino Cardinal Tagle represents a potential shift towards a more globally representative and socially progressive papacy. As the former Archbishop of Manila, Tagle has gained a reputation for his emphasis on the Church's responsibility to serve the poor and marginalized communities. His pastoral approach and advocacy for social justice issues have resonated with many Catholics around the world, particularly in the global south, who seek a pontiff that can better understand and address the lived realities of the faithful. On the other hand, the high-profile candidacy of the Italian Cardinal Parrin suggests a reassertion of the traditional dominance of the Italian clergy within the Vatican bureaucracy. For centuries, the papacy has been overwhelmingly led by European, and more specifically, Italian ecclesiastics. While the election of the Argentinian Pope Francis was seen as a departure from this historical trend, Parrin's potential ascension to the papal throne could signal a reversion to the norm. This juxtaposition between Tagle's global outlook and Parrin's more insular, Italy-centric perspective adds another layer of complexity to the issue of papal succession, highlighting the Church's ongoing struggle between maintaining the continuity of its long-standing traditions and embracing new, more inclusive approaches. Despite their contrasting institutional backgrounds and visions for the Church's future, both Tagle and Parrin share a deep passion for the Church's mission and its responsibility to serve the faithful. However, their divergent pastoral methodologies, with Tagle emphasizing social engagement and Parrin potentially favoring a more traditional hierarchical model, suggest a high degree of uncertainty surrounding the selection of the next pope. The church leadership must now carefully weigh the merits of these two candidates and determine whether to prioritize a more expansive, outward-facing approach that resonates with the common people and their initiatives, or a more insular, continuity-focused leadership that reinforces the church's established power structures and theological traditions. This pivotal decision will undoubtedly have far-reaching implications for the future trajectory of the Catholic Church, as it grapples with the complex challenges of globalization, shifting demographics, and the evolving spiritual needs of its diverse flock. The selection of the next pope, whether it be Tagle, Parrin, or another candidate, will shape the Church's ability to remain a relevant and transformative force in the lives of millions of believers worldwide. The choice of the next pope will significantly impact the Catholic Church's direction in the coming decades. This decision holds immense significance, influence, as the Pope serves as the spiritual and administrative leader of the world's largest Christian denomination, guiding the Church's policies, teachings, and global influence. The ongoing speculation and debate surrounding Pope Francis's successor highlights the complex and often contentious internal tensions and power struggles within the Church's upper echelons. The competition between two prominent contenders, Cardinal Luis Tagle and Cardinal Pietro Parolin, provides a glimpse into the diverse ideological factions and priorities that are vying for control of the Church's future. This high-stakes power struggle within the Vatican reflects the broader tensions and divisions that have been simmering within the Catholic Church in recent years. Cardinal Tagle, the charismatic Archbishop of Manila, is seen as a progressive voice advocating for greater inclusivity, social justice, and responsiveness to the needs of the global South. He has been a vocal champion of the Church's mission to serve the poor and marginalized, and has called for a more decentralized and synodal approach to decision-making. Tagle's progressive vision has resonated with many Catholics, particularly in the developing world, who seek a more compassionate and socially engaged church. In contrast, Cardinal Parolin, the Vatican Secretary of State, is regarded as a more traditional, diplomatic, and institution-focused figure. He has emphasized the importance of preserving the Church's doctrinal and hierarchical structures, and has been cautious about introducing sweeping changes that could disrupt the existing power dynamics within the institution. Parolin's approach has drawn support from those who value the stability and continuity of the Church's teachings and traditions, but has also faced criticism from those who believe the Church needs to adapt more quickly to the changing social and cultural landscape. The competition between Tagle and Parolin reflects the broader struggle between reformist and conservative factions within the Church, with each side vying for the support of the College of Cardinals and the global Catholic community. The outcome of this battle could have far-reaching implications for the future direction of the Church, as it grapples with issues such as the role of women, the treatment of marginalized groups, and the Church's response to global challenges like climate change and economic inequality. Ultimately, the contest between Tagle and Parolin highlights the deep-seated tensions and complexities that are shaping the Church's future. As the Catholic faithful around the world watch with bated breath, the decisions made by the College of Cardinals in the coming years will have a profound impact on the trajectory of this ancient institution and its ability to remain relevant and responsive to the needs of a rapidly changing world. The outcome of this high-stakes contest will not only define the Church's leadership and the individual who will wield immense spiritual and administrative authority, but it will also shape the Church's ability to navigate an increasingly polarized, complex, and rapidly changing world. The new Pope, who will be elected through a secretive and time-honored process, will be tasked with addressing a wide range of pressing challenges that the Church faces in the 21st century, from the ongoing clergy abuse scandals that have rocked the foundation of the Church's moral authority to the concerning decline in religiosity and church attendance. Particularly in the Western world, the next pontiff will be expected to steer the Church through treacherous waters. Additionally, the new Pope will need to confront the Church's struggle to adapt its timeless teachings and traditions to the realities of the modern age, where rapid social, technological, and cultural changes challenge long-held beliefs and practices. The choice of the next leader of the Catholic Church will reverberate far beyond the walls of the Vatican, potentially influencing the lives of the world's 1.3 billion Catholics, who look to the Pope as a source of spiritual guidance, moral authority, and global leadership. Furthermore, the selection of the new pontiff will have broader geopolitical implications, as the Catholic Church's positions and pronouncements on issues ranging from international conflicts to climate change and human rights can shape the global discourse and have a tangible impact on the lives of people around the world. As the world watches with bated breath, the selection of the next Pope will undoubtedly have far-reaching ramifications for the Church's role and influence in the decades to come. The new pontiff will be tasked with navigating these turbulent waters, drawing on the Church's rich history and teachings to provide a steady moral compass, while also demonstrating the flexibility and adaptability necessary to keep the institution relevant and responsive to the changing needs of its flock. The outcome of this pivotal moment will not only determine the future direction of the Catholic Church, but may also have profound implications for the broader religious and geopolitical landscape of the 21st century. In addition, share your thoughts on who you believe is most likely to become the next Pope. Remember to like, share, and subscribe for more content. Also, click on the next video shown on your screen, as you will likely find it enjoyable.